Hey friends, thank you so much for watching another video. Today we're going to be working on this yellow DMG Game Boy. I picked this Game Boy up quite a while ago, I think maybe like November-ish. I don't remember how much it was, I think it was about $50. Came with the game there as well, which is a big multi-pack game. It all works well, but as you can see, the screen has quite a bit of screen burn on it. And I thought, hey, I've fixed screen burn before on Game Boy Pockets. Let's see if I can just give it a crack on DMG. I'm pretty sure it's a very similar process. Well, hang on, I'm in the future right now. I've already done it. I know it's a very similar process, but it's slightly different. So that's why I decided I'll actually film a video on it, because I've done quite a bit of polarizer repairs on Game Boy Pockets. A little different on DMG, and it's some content, and I really need some videos going up at the moment because I have been gone for a little while, and I'm not a fan of it. Anyways, yes, we're going to crack open this DMG, grab your Y-bit 2.5 screwdriver bit tool, that's the one, and unscrew the 6 screws on the back, and it'll be right into it. As you might be able to tell, I'm probably just going to try and do the voiceover in one big long chunk, because it's easier, and then you get to listen to me dribble some shit, so... Yeah, anyways, screws on the back, undo those, and then that front bit can separate from the backboard. Unplug it, nice and gently, obviously, and then you're in. Now from here, we're going to work on the back first. So you've got 4 Phillips head screws that hold this back bit in. So swap your bit over, undo the 4 screws, and then this bit will slide on out as well. This Game Boy internally is in pretty good condition. There's not much corrosion, if any, on it at all, so it works, fires up first go every time. It's just the screen that's a bit rooted. So get rid of this motherboard there, set it to the side, and then we can get rid of the cartridge shield as well. I'm going to give this thing a bath, obviously, just so that way I know it's nice and clean. So 4 screws gets rid of the cartridge shield there, remove the switch, and then we can work on the battery terminals. These things would be a lot easier to remove if you use a flathead bit. I'm a bit of a lazy boy here, so I just used the Phillips head. Push that little tab in enough to slide it out, pull them out, bada bing, bada boom, you're all done. If you don't do the third one as well. After that, we can set aside this back piece here, get that ready for a bath later on, and then move on to the front bit. So the front piece is held in by a stupid amount of screws. Why, Nintendo? It's too many screws. So once you undo the million of screws there, you can work on removing the board from the shell. So you just give it a little bit of a twist, kind of break the adhesive a little bit of a twist and pull up at the same time, and then that's it. It'll should click straight up, and then you can work on looking at your horrendous screen. Before we do that though, again, I'm gonna get the shell ready for a bath, so get rid of the buttons, peel off the membranes. Again, this thing is from the 80s, late 80s, and it's in not bad condition. Like, look at that, only a little bit of dust, pretty tidy, honestly. So we're just gonna set aside those button membranes and the buttons themselves, and then they'll go in the bath a little later. And then we can work on removing the screen lens on this thing too. So every time I remove a screen lens, I always just grab my suction cup and stick it to the corner of the screen and then pull up lightly. And as you can see, every single time it works flawlessly. First go, every time, no issues at all. I don't know why this one was so strong, but hey, eventually we got there, nice and slow, pull it up, and then we can just set that aside as well. Obviously, when I pull the screen lenses out, I usually avoid cleaning the back of them best I can. If I don't need to clean it, I won't clean it, just because it's so hard to make it nice and shiny the whole way through, nice and clear the whole way through. So that one I just set aside and then clean the front up later. Now we can work on the screen. So you can remove these 2 screws here. Apparently it gives you a bit more room. I removed them and I didn't really find that much extra help from removing them. So you might be able to leave them in if you want to. But all I'll do is I'll grab a razor blade and then start one of the corners with peeling up the polarizer, and then once I've got enough room, I usually just grab it with my finger and thumb, and just pull it up nice and slow. You kind of want to go a bit slow here. The faster you go, the more adhesive you leave behind, and cleaning the adhesive is the worst bit of this process by far. So take your time a little bit, and then just peel off nice and slow. As you can see, all the burn bits there is what is the adhesive. So that's what we're gonna have to clean up and replace with a brand new polarizer filter. So what I like to do is put a bit of isopropyl alcohol on there, and then I'll clean it up with a razor blade best I can, trying to scrape up most of it, and then just go ham with a cotton bud or a cloth. So I sped up the process here a bit because honestly it's pretty tedious to watch, but just take your time, isopropyl alcohol, cloth, cotton bud, rinse, repeat until you get rid of all of that adhesive, which, as I said, very tedious to do, but rewarding afterwards. So after you've done that, it should look nice and clean, just like this. And give it a nice wipe, and then look at that. We are minty fresh. So now this is ready to put the new polarizer filter down. So what I'll do is I grab the polarizer filter, the brand new one, and then put the old one I've removed, put that straight on top. That way it gives me a nice template to cut out. Now, as you can see there, when I was turning the polarizer filter, it changes the background, it changes the screen color. Now with this one, I probably should have had it on a slight angle instead of leaving it straight in the corner. Just that way it would have recreated the original screen color a lot easier, a lot nicer. However, I just went straight into the corner, shoved it in there. But to be fair, I don't mind it because the end result looks more yellow and it matches the shell really nice. So I prefer it, honestly. Otherwise, the normal color is usually a bit of a greener color. But with this polarizer filter, you remove that back piece, make sure the screen is clean, and then slowly stick it down to the screen, to the clean screen. Make sure it's clean up. You don't want any dust between this. It is a pain. I've done it before. It sucks. So nice and slowly, what I do is grab a cotton bud and just slowly squeegee the screen down. Make sure there's no air bubbles behind it. As you can see here, there's one air bubble, and I was paranoid about it, but it's just the screen protector, so we're all good there. So no stress. Now, I actually forgot to wash the shell earlier, so I decided, hey, let's just whack it in the dishwasher. That'll clean it up nice and good. Get it nice and shiny, nice and sparkly. You could eat off of it. Don't yell at me. I'm very clearly joking. I didn't put it in the dishwasher. It was just a funny joke. Ha ha ha. Funny jokes. Okay, now I'm going to clean the shell up as well. I don't want to show too much of it. The main bits to clean, honestly, is your button contacts and your switches and your terminals, everything like that. The buttons, terminals, button contacts here are actually really clean. As I said, this is in really good condition for a 1989 DMG. To play it loud edition, it probably didn't come out in 89, probably like early 90s. Anyways, clean up the speaker as well, because that obviously gets some grime on it, and all the wheels there, and then that's pretty much all you need to do. I lost my toothbrush, so I couldn't clean the cartridge slot with the toothbrush. I just found a paintbrush though. Does the job. Whatever you need to do. And then after we clean it, we're ready to reassemble. If this was a Game Boy Pocket, I would have tested the screen first to make sure it worked. However, because the Game Boy was entirely pulled apart, I decided nice suspense at the end, see if it actually works. So now that everything's clean, we're going to whack it all back together the same way we pulled it apart. And then hopefully the screen will work. Because if it didn't, it's a lot of time to do for something that doesn't work. And believe me, I've done it before. It's very frustrating when it doesn't work. But hey, whack it all back together. I'm going to stop talking because I'm just repeating myself. And then let's see if it works. With these screen lenses, you don't normally need to put any more adhesive on the back to stick it down. The adhesive that was already on there generally tends to be enough to stick it back on, so easy days. Now I can plug some batteries in there. Cheap special batteries, obviously. I'm not going to splurge for some Duracells, am I? Put the new multi-cart in there, not new, put the old multi-cart in there and then test it up to see if it works. And as you can see, there's a bit of panic in my eyes right now because I'm like, oh God, it's not working. That's the volume I'm turning. Turn the contrast down, look at that. We are working, we are cooking, we are playing Space Invaders, we are loving life. I am very good at Space Invaders, as you can see. I definitely don't die even once. Absolute pro. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you that watch my videos. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. It would help me out a lot. And again, thank you so much. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!